How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley, and today we're coming to you from the opener for the Belle Vue Arts Festival. It's Let's Celebrate, and I am stood the other side of the Greyfriars bridge looking at Stop Café, and around me there are stalls. There's a band tuning in. You can hear in the background there. So I'll try and get a chat to them. I'm going to speak to some of the organisers and some of the people that are around here, notable. There's the Rickshaws that are about there. People can get free rides up and down. And, you know, the Belle Vue Arts Festival is a very special thing to me. Obviously, when the Shrewsbury Biscuit first began, we did the Belle Vue Arts Festival. We did the open gardens, and it was one of the nicest days I remember, actually, with the Biscuit. We got to go around people's gardens, got offered tea, and got to speak to some of the locals. It was just really nice to sort of step out and be part of the community and welcomed by the community. And the Belle Vue Arts Festival does that in a way that it encourages people to go out and be creative. If you're from the Colham or Belle Vue area, you may have taken part in the scarecrow competition they do every year. There's a different theme, and some people get really creative with it. Some people don't, but it's a lot of fun, and that's the most important thing. So we're going to take a wander around. I want to speak to this band before they sort of start, because I'm not going to walk up to a band and shove a mic in their face whilst they're playing. So we'll get a chat with them. And if you're part of the Belle Vue Arts Festival, if you've helped put this together, an event that brings the community together, then well done. And hopefully, this runs for like a few weeks. You know, it's not just now. It happens today. It runs for the whole. So I'm going to rush this to get this out for the Monday. And if you're listening to this on the release, you are in the midst of the Belle Vue Arts Festival. So I encourage you to go to the website, which is bellevueartsfestival.co.uk, and take a look at the great events that are taking place throughout the month. And, get out and support your community. Take a look at what's going on around you, because there's lots of local artists and lots of local community members that have all got involved to make this thing special. So, yes, let's go find some people to speak to. So, hello, I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Trevor Jones. I'm Trevor Jones from the Shrewsbury Heritage Society, Railway Society, yeah.
Okay, and we were just talking about the Abbey Foregate station, which some people may have noticed recently has been fashioned to look like the old station, right?
Yes, it is the old station.
Yes?
Yes, definitely is part of it.
Yeah.
I should have brought some photographs. But
it's really important to preserve this heritage and this history,
oh, yes.
Right?
It was a line that went from Shrewsbury to Lanarmonach.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard obviously I'm part of For the Love of Shrewsbury and lots of other pages as well, that it was a railway that was put together and held together by the community, right? Very much like funded by the local community, not by the government. Is that true? Is it like
1866 it was built.
Yes.
And it was built by Samuel France.
Yeah.
Yeah. In today's money, he would be a billionaire.
Like a Bruce Wayne type. Yeah.
And he built the railway and that. And he had a big house up Abbey Foregate, a bit further up. And it's called Monklands. And he built it, and then I don't know what happened to him in the end. He went.
Well, the receivers were called in, but by 1886, because the railway was more or less in a state of run down, and they had a few accidents as well. The board of trade closed it down eventually, and then Colonel Stevens came about in 1911 to take it over. He was taking all second-hand railways all around the country and running them as cheap as possible. That survived until about
then in 1941 the British Army took it over.
Yeah.
And that was all along the line at Ford, Kinley, Nescliffe and that, and Corwin, was ammunition dumps.
Oh, okay.
And the railway was used to transport all that about, and also to train engineers on the railway as well. Train engine drivers and engineers to work on railways. I haven't a clue why that, but the British Army, these people were.
Yeah.
And there's still presence of the British Army there now.
And you know, you can go through Abbey Foregate around there, and you wouldn't realise, you know, now that there was a train line that run right that close to the Abbey, and you know, and so it's really important to, like I said, preserve this
history of Shrewsbury. Yes.
And you know, I'm a big advocate for that, which is why I've been making. A lot of, I mean, I just did an interview with Stan Sedman, Phil Gillam, and Andy Dawson just yesterday, talking about the heritage and the history of Shrewsbury and what makes this place so desirable and unique. And it's history like this that is really important. And you know, the Belle Vue Arts Festival, I just did an intro there talking about how important things like this are, because it kind of glues the community together.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's great to get the community to know what's going on as well around the town and that.
Yeah. Do you get any young whippersnappers getting interested in this?
Oh, some of them come down and a lot of things. And
we got like
we try to help people.
Look, there's a colouring
book on a colouring sheet.
And we're starting to walk out.
Amazing. So
that's Gazelle, and it was run on the Shropshire Montgomery line from Shrewsbury to Lanarmonach.
So we're just giving out a colouring page for a girl with a train, an actual train that was. Well, listen, I've really enjoyed chatting to you guys.
We're just trying to get the kids interested by colouring.
Absolutely.
The young generation to keep going, basically. The interest.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Because like, even me, I'm 35 years old, and I wasn't around when this was a thing. So you know, it's good to pass on the torch, isn't it? So well done to you guys for doing that.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for chatting to me, gents. Have a great day.
Thank you.
So I'll introduce myself. I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
I can see that from your t-shirt.
Yeah. And you're with Bill, who I know, and Maggie's been on the show a few times.
Yeah.
How are you, Bill? You good? How are you? You good?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. That was him on the harmonica, sounding beautiful. Do you guys go a band? You got a band name or?
Well, what should we call it, Bill? The Bill McKay Blues Band.
No.
Then if it all goes wrong, I'm all right.
Put his name on it.
Lost in Space.
Lost in
Space. Very good.
Do you get involved with the Belle Vue Arts Festival?
Yeah, I've been involved with it for years. I started off doing the open gardens, and then the scarecrows, and then the music. And
I've mentioned it a few times because I'm not from Shrewsbury, but when I first moved here and started doing the Shrewsbury Biscuit, it was the Belle Vue Arts Festival and open gardens that made me feel part of the community, because I took my microphone and I went and sat in people's gardens, and they brought me drinks and cake and stuff, and I got to know the community, physically know the community, and it was really nice. It was very warm, and that's what this festival does.
Yeah,
brings the community together.
It's brilliant like that, and you get to meet people that are in your neighbourhood, come around the gardens you've never met before. They only live like 2 streets down, and so it's wonderful like that.
We were in Belle Vue and Bestford Square, and we've moved away now in Sutton Grange. But weirdly, I know,
gone uptown, eh?
Yeah, I know, all the way out of town. But it's I still feel part of this community,
11 o'clock.
I still see people from that open gardens thing that I recognise, and they'll wave to me and stuff. It's very nice. So what are you guys going to be singing today?
We just do a little set of blues, things like Route 66 and Keys to the Highway, and all these old blues standards,
Lift the spirit, lift the heart.
My woman left me and I'm so blue, that sort of thing. And then he'll sort of bend a few
Fergus
reeds.
is going to help as well.
He's on second. Don't want to miss this guy.
Well, this is the music you guys are going to be hearing in the background while I'm doing some of these interviews. So I thought I'd speak to you guys before you stroke up and start playing, because I wasn't going to walk up to you mid song and be like, "Yo, can I get an interview for the biscuit?" It's not going to happen. Well, I hope you have a great day.
Okay.
And thank you for filling the air with music today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, how's it going? I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves to the show?
Okay, I'm Audrey Menhinnick, and I'm chairman of the Shropshire Way Association.
Amazing, and yourself?
I'm Amanda Hartley-Newton, and I'm a trustee of the Shropshire Way Association and also a walk leader for Shrewsbury Ramblers, as is Audrey.
And Amanda does the publicity for us.
Well, you guys look great.
Yes,
you really do.
She's set out this wonderful display here.
I love the logo. It's really fantastic. What is the Shropshire Way? We got listeners all around the world that do listen to people the show. So explain to people what the Shropshire Way is.
Well, it was put together by the Ramblers in the 1980s.
Yes.
And it was just a loop around the Shropshire Hills, in the south of Shropshire. But over the years, it became more like a spider's web of walks as the council added bits to it, loops on it, small circular walks, cuts across the middle, and people started to complain that they couldn't understand where to go. So we set up the Shropshire Way Association to sort that out, and it's now a figure of 8 with a clear southern loop and a northern loop. And the sister-only publishing company got in touch with us, said they'd like to make a guidebook, and their author had already been looking at trying to sort it out and clarify things. So we worked together, and we have a website, so it's now supported by this lovely guidebook.
So what I'm holding in my hands now is called Walking the Shropshire Way.
Yes.
It's an official guide to the walks that you guys have put together over the years.
That's right.
Now these things are really, really handy on I was going to say a rainy day, but on a day where you don't have much going on, you don't have much money maybe, I don't know, you want to go out with the family, and you're like, where should we go? Well, this book, it will offer you information in places where you can go on a family walk. It's really cool.
Well, you can, but it is a long distance path.
There's proper hiking.
Yes, so you can walk out from Shrewsbury, which is the centre of the figure of 8, and start going south. If you wanted to do a linear walk, well, then you'd have to get public transport back. And that's possible for places where there's a bus service, railway stations such as Craven Arms, Ludlow, Church Stretton.
So would you say the Shropshire Way offers walks for people that are starting off with their rambling and their hiking, if they're...
you could say do small sections of it.
But we have a smaller book. You would tell them about that.
The Shrewsbury Ramblers 10 years ago produced a best-selling book. We've sold 8,500 copies called 20 Walks in and Around Shrewsbury. And the walks are between 2 and 6 miles in length, so you can choose a walk that will suit your ability. They're accompanied by clear, very beautifully presented maps, so it's very obvious where you need to go. All the walks are waymarked with the number of the walk on it. So, for example, walk number 2 will have walk number 2 waymarks all the way round, and there's clear directions in the book with wow factors and lots of interesting facts. So great to introduce children, older people, anybody who's new to walking. It's a great introduction, and it's only £4.99, and we've sold 8,500 copies and just had another 1,000 printed.
Like I said, these things are invaluable because when I think about going on family walks or go for a whole day out together, out in nature, which we do love, by the way, we love to do that. I always think, let's just go Hormond Hill or the Wrekin or go Condover or something,
like everybody else.
Everyone does.
Do something different.
I mean, this is really good because
20 walks in and around Shrewsbury, and it's also. Obviously, you can get it directly from us, but you can go by going on our Facebook page or our website. But also, there are suppliers in town. So, for example, right here in the High Street.
Oh yeah, great shop.
Abbey Foregate Post Office, Battlefield 1403, Farm Shop. So there are various outlets, and of course the bookshops all stock the book and the Shropshire Way guide actually. So
if you're listening to this, guys, and you're interested, it's 20 walks in and around Shropshire, and they're walking the Shropshire Way, the
in
official
around
guide.
Shrewsbury.
In around. Oh, sorry. We'll try that again. 20 walks in and around Shrewsbury as a Shropshire. I did it all the time. I went to the Shropshire virtual show a couple of years ago, and I was on stage comparing. And I said goodbye to everybody. I was like, "Thank you for joining the Shrewsbury virtual show in Watch Wenlock." It happens to me all the time. I think you guys are great because you illustrate something to do, to go out and enjoy. Like nature is very important to get out and enjoy. And you offer, not everybody knows where to go, and you offer.
Well, no, that's
plus
true.
the fact that walking's so good for health.
Yes,
both physical and mental health. Yeah,
and it's a legacy as well. It's a legacy of hard work that's been put in by you guys over the years.
And the other thing I'd just like to quickly say is that the Ramblers organise a programme of walks every week throughout the year, and anybody's very welcome to join us for up to 3 walks. You're not obliged to join the Ramblers initially, but you can come along, try a walk, try before you buy if you like, and it's not very expensive anyway to join the Ramblers nationally. And of course they campaign for access to land and footpath maintenance,
protect
etc.
it, I guess.
Yeah, protect it for future generations. Yeah.
So a bit like the Civic Society protect the old buildings and the architecture, whereas you guys protect the nature.
Footpath network. Yes. Yeah.
So the website for Ramblers is ramblers.org.uk.
That's right.
What's the Shropshire Way website?
is Shropshire Way. It's on the back of him, at the bottom.
Oh, there we go. shropshireway.org.uk. You guys get involved with this, especially if you like your walking, you like to be out in nature, or you want to step into the world of hiking and rambling. This is a great way to do it.
Don't need any special equipment, just some stout shoes and a waterproof. Take some drink with you. You're away.
Are you expecting a lot of when you do the Belle Vue? Do you do the Belle Vue Arts Festival every year? Does it generate?
We do. Yeah, we did it last year. Apparently, Rebecca did something. We didn't. I didn't get involved, but we didn't do the Shropshire Way. Didn't attend, did we?
So you're expecting quite a bit of interest today?
Yeah, we've already sold a few books. And
great.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well, make sure you guys visit the websites and check out, look out for these books to help these guys out and join the Ramblers, because it's a very natural, organic thing to get out and do.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you for chatting to me today, guys.
Nice to meet you, thank you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
So that was really nice. It was a really nice conversation, actually. You think about hiking and walking. It's not something that I typically do. If you know me, then you're nodding your head quite fiercely, right? It's not something I do, but they were great to talk to, and this just goes to show that the Shrewsbury Biscuit, as a thing, as a conversation starter, as an icebreaker, it's just a truly great natural thing, because we end up talking about things I wouldn't normally talk about and learning about, and I just got invited to come and help them with some of the walks, which is great. Some of the greatest times of my life from being younger was when I was in the Army Cadets, when we used to go do expeditions, and I used to go to Ireland when I was in college, and we'd disappear for a whole day climbing waterfalls, and these are the great times of my life, and they're just organic moments where we're out in nature, so it'd be nice to touch base with that. Right, let's go find some more people to talk about. I'm going to go speak to the Rickshaw people. Let's do that. Well, I'm just having a wander around, and I've just found one of the most distinguished gentlemen in Shrewsbury. Do you want to introduce yourself? What's your name? Mr. Mini Biscuit, right?
Yep.
How are you today? You good?
Good.
Yeah? What are you doing?
Building Lego.
You're playing with Lego. They've put Lego out for the children. Lego's a very creative thing to do, isn't it? You like Lego, don't you? Yeah?
It also can be quite stressful.
It can be stressful? Lego?
Yeah.
Why?
Because sometimes the bits just fall off.
Sometimes the bits fall off. Okay. Do you like this today? Alright, okay, so he's got his head in the bucket of Lego. Usually Mini Biscuit's more chatty, but he's playing with Lego, so we'll catch up with him later. Hello, I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So what's your position here with the Belle Vue? Are you helping plan it, organise it?
Yes, I'm organiser for two major events,
Yes.
which is the art exhibition and the Poets on the Trail poetry evening.
Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic. How much planning has to go into these things?
I think I started well before Christmas, so in the autumn last year. It takes mega planning, but it's so worthwhile. It's lovely to bring and encourage people in the community.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And when it comes to poetry, is it the same people every year that bring stuff, or you get new poets every year?
We try to get a new selection. Sometimes we have a couple that are the same, but we always encourage local poets, people who enjoy writing, and just to be brave and perform. They're given a 5-minute slot, basically. And they're encouraged to read their own poems, and that's particularly powerful, I think, to hear somebody deliver their own poem. But we've also got performance poets, children's poet. We've got somebody who won the the Poetry Slam recently in Shrewsbury.
Amazing.
So it's really a lovely selection with music as well. So what's not to like? We've got a French horn quartet and a Welsh harpist coming. So it's it's got refreshments as well, so just enjoy.
I love poetry, and I never used to. It's weird. It's only since I've been doing the Biscuit I've listened to poetry, I've read poetry, and I've been to poetry events. I've been to some very personal stuff. Tim Dawes, you know Tim Dawes?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. He invited me around his house for a poetry slam at his. We drank wine and listened to people's poetry. I didn't realise it was going to be so personal. It was just literally like a private thing at his house, and it was very intimate and very good.
It's incredibly powerful, I think. It's music of the soul, they say. I like that phrase. And I think if you like words and if you like music, Thursday evening at Barnabas Church Centre is the place to be. £5, just amazing. You can pay on the door, and refreshments are there as well. So it's a really, really lovely evening.
So if you're listening to this on release day on the Monday, that's this Thursday coming up, because
Yes.
we're going to rush this and get this released literally in a couple of days.
The 16th. 16th is the poetry evening, and then there's the art exhibition.
Yes, tell us about that.
Well, the art exhibition, we've got 138 pieces of artwork to hang on Wednesday,
Wow.
which is quite amazing. We've got over 40 local artists taking part, ranging from an 88-year-old grandfather who has built in lockdown a scale model of Penguin Court, and he's coming.
I saw that. I
and
saw
also,
that in the Shropshire Star. I'm sure.
did you?
Yeah, I
oh,
saw
wow.
that. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
cool. And also, on the other end of the spectrum, we've got a 12-year-old boy who's done a lovely crayon drawing called, wait for it, Alien Planet.
Hey.
That's going to tempt you in, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. But that's what I love about this, is that the exhibition and the art and the poetry and everything that's going on around here is open to literally everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And if you see it this year and you think, I'd like to get involved, then there's always next year. That's what I think. And I would encourage everybody who's creative in this area to just, let your hair down, just get involved.
And also, if you are a poet and I've just been chatting to Mike Perkins, who just moved here, DC artist, and he just missed the Arts Festival last year, but he was just walking around, he was in his element, but he's meeting likewise people that are creative just like him. So if you just moved to town, or maybe you've just started doing poetry or making art, you can meet likewise people by walking around over the next few weeks with the Belle Vue Arts Festival, right?
I've met, even just being here on Greyfriars Bridge this afternoon, I've actually met some lovely, lovely people. And when I've said to them, can I talk to you about some of the events, and they've listened, honestly, they're going away, I feel, quite enthusiastic about this, everything that's in our leaflet, which is good news.
Amazing. I love what you guys do. I mean, the Belle Vue Arts Festival, I've said it a few times, it's very special to me because it welcomed me into the community when I first started doing this, because I first started doing the biscuit pretty much as soon as I moved to Shrewsbury. And so it's always brought me closer to the community. So thank you for doing what you guys do.
It's a pleasure.
Is there a theme, by the way, for the exhibition this year?
And actually, it was me that actually came up with the idea.
Hey.
This is journeys. So anything to do with a journey, when there's so many different types of journeys.
Quite philosophical, that, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Everybody agreed. What we do every year is that we all put our ideas into the hat, and then we just choose the ones that we think are going to give us the most options. This year, journeys.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for chatting to me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Right, so walking around, and I do remember vaguely seeing on Facebook, I think it was yesterday, I noticed that he was going to be here, but I was very surprised to talk to Tom.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well.
It's been a while since we've done this.
It has.
The last time we did this was when we were in the parade.
It was.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Gosh. If I still recall, I still had a moustache then, because I had a phase of just going like, right, I need to refresh it. Yes, thankfully.
Like the moustache. It suits you, man.
Yes, it's stuck for life now. Yeah. Especially with the t-shirt and everything like that. So it's, I realise I have to do that for all my life. So,
is that like a thing? Because like the Talk to Tom logo now's got the moustache.
Yes.
Is it kind of, oh my god, I've got to be so careful when I'm shaving now in case.
Yeah.
These things happen.
I did it accidentally. I had one level. It went off on the other side, so I was like, I had to kind of like thin it out. Or like I had to sort it out, so and I couldn't go outside for like about a week just because I needed to allow it to grow. So
I went to Turkish barbers on Mardel before I went to Greece, and they did my moustache or my beard like really square.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my, I've got to keep that up now. Like, do you know what I mean?
My scariest ones, when they're obviously doing all their shaves and stuff like that, it's with the flames.
Oh yeah,
do it around the ears. That always scares me. Did they?
They did that to me, and they did the nose.
Yeah. Oh,
waxing thing. It was,
I don't think I'm brave enough to do the nose.
It actually feels really nice.
Does it?
Oh yeah. It's like a release. It's like done. But yeah, it's very nice to see you. Very
it's
nice
good to see you too, man.
A lot has changed and a lot has happened since we have spoken.
We have, yeah. Where to start? I think.
Talk to Tom had not long started when we first chatted.
That's true. And it's just kind of developed and grown as time's gone by. Obviously, a lot of in personal sides, having a baby son, a Nyron, and he's growing very, very fast. Becoming a dad, and then...
You took a break for a bit as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to. Well, yeah, because in order to kind of like take a break, one needs to kind of like just, completely
recharge
your batteries.
Yeah.
I think that's the main key thing, man. So, but I'm glad that I did it, because then I've got like again an enjoyment of going back into the different cafes, or seeing everyone who I've spoken to before, and new people as well. So, which has actually been a blessing again, and I've been loving it again.
Are you meeting lots of more new people now?
Yeah,
now that you're back.
Yeah, and towards that, it's just been really surprising to see, the different topics, the different subjects that people have been talking about, the different kind of challenges that other people have been facing, and what kind of ways are they coping around with their mechanisms around, with challenging from their day-to-day perspective. And there's some kind of like relation to certain things that you kind of, when I was recharging, there was certain elements around that I needed to kind of focus and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, we're all human, aren't we, at the end of the day? I mean, I do this myself with the biscuit. I'm kind of like, because you know me, I have two different modes. I have the biscuit mode, which is sophisticated, more family friendly. I'm out in the community, and then I have my other side where I like to get a bit raunchy and swear and have a few beers with the guys, right?
Yep.
And I feel like I need one to survive the other. It's a symbiotic thing, because if I was trying to be prim and proper and not swear and stuff all the time, I feel like I'd probably explode eventually. You need to let off a bit of steam.
I think that's where the love of, obviously, when I was recharging, it was obviously going back into rugby again in terms of the sports. It's a love and hate situation for me. It can be like, 1 minute I love it and then 1 minute I don't, but it's something that I can't let go of. Such as like obviously with the two other the podcasts and stuff like that. So
it's all about our passions, and you went to school for a bit as well, but went back to school for a bit to learn.
So in the recharge, if we want to call it,
my moment of clarity.
The moment of clarity. In the recharge, I've now. I'm studying as a trainee education mental health practitioner.
Oh, well done, man.
So it's all kind of all goes ahead. It's obviously studying in Derby. I passed 2 of the exams, and obviously just got the underbelly for the next one to face on, which is what everyone doesn't like, is referencing, which is not my cup of tea, but will.
Where did you find this then? I just found it. Okay.
I just found it. Yeah, it came from the sky. Like
page X amount line. I remember. I went to college. I remember that. Has Talk to Tom changed your life?
Yes. I would say that straight away, because without Talk to Tom, it wouldn't. It kind of gave me a bit more of a purpose in terms of the direction of where I want to kind of, what I want to be doing in my life. And it sounds really cliche, but it's given others a lot more confidence as well. So obviously we got another chap who's doing Talk to Will, for example, up at Nerdy Café. There's hindsights of other people who are interested in wanting to do their own talk to whoever the name of this are.
I spoke to Dan Reed as well from Men Walking and Talking.
Love Dan Reed.
I saw you went on one of his talks. His walks. Walks, talks. This is it's a great movement for me that I can definitely get behind.
Yeah, man.
Is men in general. I mean, I'm not being sexist, but we need to talk about this. Men opening up and talking about their feelings, because when we were growing up, we were told you couldn't get emotional because it was the G word. And I don't mean to be horrible, but that's what we grew up with. That's what got ingrained into us. If you're from a certain generation, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of guys out there for years that have pent up all their emotions and their feelings, and now are struggling with it.
If I was to be really honest, in around that process of taking a step back, is that because everything was all going a lot on my side, I was building up quite a bit of emotion where I wasn't letting go, so I was kind of like contradicting myself.
Absorbing it all,
absorbing myself and contradicting myself, as being like, well, if I'm allowing other people to kind of like do their own, allow other people to talk to me about how they're feeling, I need to do exactly the same thing, and obviously kind of be more open and use my actual coping mechanisms, such as talking to my family or friends and stuff close to me, who actually understand how what I'm feeling or what I'm experiencing.
Well, I think you and others like you that are offering people the help and the space, just an ear to listen. I think you're a hero. You're doing a great thing, and
Thanks,
you probably won't like, but you are. You're doing a great thing.
Thanks, man.
And people love you in this town, and rightly so.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna thank you so much for having a good chat. It's always a good catch up, man. I love it.
I love it too. And I hope you have a great day. I hope if you do see Talk to Tom sat in a cafe and there's nobody on the table, come and sit down and just talk to him.
Yeah, it's there if it's needed. That's all it is.
Social media, it's
Talk to Tom, Shropshire,
Tom.
and that's where you can find it. Instagram, Facebook, and take it from there.
Yeah, brilliant. Tom, nice chatting to you.
Safe.
Right, so hello. Whoa, there we go. Right, so I was going to go speak to the Rickshaw people, but I found Talk to Tom. I haven't spoken to him in a long while. I spoke to him away from the show, but on the show I haven't spoken to him for a long time, as you heard, and it was really nice catching up with him. And actually we sat there for about 40 minutes chatting, just catching up. So let's go find some people to speak to. We'll carry on with our journey, shall we? Hello, I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners?
I'm Sarah Gibson. I'm author of a book called Swift and Us, The Life of the Bird That Sleeps in the Sky.
Amazing. And how long have you been an author for, writing for?
This is my first book.
Oh, really?
Yes. I used to work for the Shropshire Wildlife Trust.
Okay.
And I wrote that. I was working part-time, and I wrote the book and researched the book over the last few years, and then it was published in hardback last year, and it's about the most aerial of birds, the swift, which, as the subtitle suggests, spends its entire life in the air apart from when it's breeding. So they find their food in the air, they preen in the air, they sleep in the air. All their nesting materials come from the air.
Sounds very tiring.
Not if you're a swift, not tiring at all.
No?
Because they're perfectly adapted to exploiting the winds, and every movement is performed with great agility, and they've been honed through millions of years of evolution for life in the air. So it is the most natural thing for them to do. It's like breathing.
When it comes to writing a book like this, is there a lot of satisfaction that comes into getting the research right and put it on paper, and it looks and it reads and it feels right?
Of course, it's hugely satisfying. Writing the book was great. It was a wonderful project for me because it gave me a chance and a focus to explore one bird, one species of bird, and a bird with great fascination for me, and also to meet lots of really interesting people. And writing, I love writing, and that was part of my job at the Wildlife Trust as well. So writing something I've always done, so it was a wonderful thing to do.
Well, we just did an interview with Stuart Edmonds from Wildlife Trust. We're BFFs now. We're best friends basically, and we were talking about getting involved in nature. I mean, I was speaking with Niall McCann last year, amazing National Geographic explorer, a great guy, and we were talking about the disconnect that you seem to have with nature at the moment, and I don't understand it. I don't understand what's happened where the link has lost. I mean, the quarry during the pandemic was having to be cleaned ridiculously, bags and bags and bags of rubbish, because the kids were just chucking the rubbish all over into nature. And I feel like it's books like this that could probably help introduce people back into nature. You know?
I really hope that happens. And the swift is such a bird for people to look up almost wherever you live. They're a bird that nests in our towns and our villages, sometimes in houses in the countryside. But it's a bird that so many people can discover close to where they live. And even if they're not on your houses, you can look up, you can hear them screaming through the skies, you can see them racing along. Some of them, when they're racing their circuits around the rooftops, they fly at 69.3 miles an hour.
Wow. Oh wow, that's quite
and
admirable.
they will nest in our houses, so there's a bit of a crossover there. You very rarely see them because they dive in at 40 miles an hour and just jam the brakes on as they come into their hole. So their nest is hidden, but they do need a nest in our houses. They've got a bit of a problem because an awful lot of their access holes are being blocked off through renovation, and new build doesn't always accommodate them. Swift renovation can be done in a Swift-friendly way. It not always is. If you're building a new house or an extension, think about putting in a Swift brick, which is basically a little hole with a box behind it in the brick, and that will give access to a bird for the duration of the house.
Amazing. Oh, I've learned so much about this. We'll have to get together properly at some point and talk about... I love talking about the process of writing a book because it's something that I can never do. Tried it. I wrote the synopsis for a book. It's in my sock drawer. Has been for years. But to actually sit there and take that from your head and put it onto a page, it's been it's a torturous thing for me to think about. But you've done it. You've gone out there and done it. Yeah,
I've done it. From the moment I thought about writing the book, I knew that I would finish it and do it. I'd never really thought about writing a book before, but once the thought entered my head, it just seemed like the right thing to do.
It's having the discipline and the mental endurance to do that. You know, it's something that I probably struggle with. It's been up inside my head to write just the one. I wrote a chapter. I wrote a chapter of my book years ago, but that one chapter was just it ruined me, just being inside that head of mine. You know, so well done for getting it done. And
thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. What's the response been like? Have you been selling quite a few books today?
I've sold 3 books today, which is nice, and I'm doing quite a few book festivals and events for groups. So it's selling. It's also in the bookshops. It's online.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the book is Swifts and Us by Sarah Gibson. Have you got a Facebook page for this, or did you just look for it on Amazon, look for it in Penguin Books?
Yeah,
is it in local?
It will be in all bookshop. Well, it'll be in all good bookshops.
Yeah.
And it is also available online, Amazon. I'm on Twitter at WindsweatSarah.
Brilliant. Sarah, thank you for chatting to me today.
Thank you
Good
very
luck with
much.
the book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. It's like an audio magazine for Shrewsbury. We kind of cover events and people. I just spoke to an author over there. I'm going to go speak to the Rickshaw people. So I'll talk to Tom as well. This is all about community and people coming out and enjoying the people around them, right? And I see you guys selling plants today. So what are you guys up to today? Introduce yourselves and talk about what we...
We're raising money for the local charity Amiga. We provide befriending services for people that are lonely and socially isolated.
Lovely.
Howard here is one of our trustees. He's grown all of the plants himself. So we're just here today to raise some money, raise awareness and shift some plants.
Yeah.
That seems to be the answer. I basically got talked into it, if the truth were known, and having a spare greenhouse seemed a way of spending time, really. So there they are. We've done this a few years now, haven't we?
We have.
And good fun too.
It looks amazing. So you grow all these plants yourself in your greenhouse?
Well, most of them, yes. I mean, we've had a few contributions as well from friends, which is nice. But no, most of them are grown from seed. That's it, really. So
I think
good.
I think organic life, flowers, beautiful these things, and friendship. They go hand in hand, don't they? There's such a nice connection there.
Well,
they do. You got to nurture them. To look after them.
Yeah. And what do you guys offer in ways of helping people with Amiga then? What do you guys do?
So we have a telephone befriending service called Chatterbox that provides half-hour weekly phone calls to people.
That's nice.
And we do a letter from Louise. It's a pen pal befriending service. Chatterbox has a waiting list at the moment, so unfortunately we're not able to take any new clients. But if anybody wants to come along and be a befriender and help with the telephone calls, that would be really, really appreciated.
Just somewhere, so like if you're feeling a bit lonely, you can pick up a phone and find someone to speak to.
That's
amazing.
Right.
Is this a national thing or is it just local?
We operate from town walls in Shrewsbury, but we can provide cover nationally because it's a telephone or letter exchange, so we can reach anywhere in the UK.
I think it's a really wonderful thing because we've all had moments in our lives, or most of us had times in our lives where you sat there like, I've got no one to talk to about this thing. you know. And so it's nice to know that there's folks like you that you can reach out to, and there's guys like you that help these things exist. And you know, you're a champion for these people.
I got talked into it, basically. No, I mean,
you've done a great thing, though.
I think it's great. It's it's something that's well worthwhile doing. So we've been trying to get him at the 21st century, haven't we, with a bit of computer work and this kind of stuff, which seems to be working. So, but it through the pandemic, of course, it was pretty busy.
I imagine.
But the interesting thing about that was, of course, we got a lot more volunteers. But then, of course, once people go back to work, they haven't got the time, and so now we're rather the other way, aren't we? Really, where we really do need, people who are prepared to, give up about an hour and a half a week, maybe.
There were so many aspects to the pandemic that people needed help. I mean, whether it was lonely because they were used to being out and about, their busy lives, and then they were stuck at home. I know that people struggled with that, and then there was going back to work again after being locked in your cave for a year. You know. Welcome back to society. You know? It's incredibly difficult for a lot of people. You know, we did a lot of work around mental health and working with charities to talk about how they did things. Signal charity work with hard of hearing people were a massive eye opener because we did a great interview where we spoke to a member of the hard hearing community with a translator. Yeah. And they talked about face masks and how people can't lip read, and I was like, oh my god, you just don't think about things like this, you know. I'd love to like bring my mics and my equipment to Amiga, sit around the table and have a really calm chat with you guys. I really like what you do.
That'd be great.
Yeah
Yeah,
I'm glad I came over to speak.
I mean, there's a bit extra as well, of course. There's the bereavement support you do, and also things like what do you call them, iPads for motor neuron disease.
Yes.
To try and act as a sort of automatic speech synthesizer. I mean, I've been involved in it only for a comparatively short time, really, but it's a good organisation, does a lot of good work, really. So I'm pleased to be any part of it.
It's very nice to speak to people that will stop, slow down, just take a look around them and have a bit of empathy and compassion. Because we're all so busy in our day-to-day lives, A to B, work, school, all the rat race stuff that we deal with. Sometimes it's hard to pay attention to the environment around us and people around us. So the fact that we're doing that with you guys is really nice. Really nice. Well, thank you for chatting to me today.
Thank you.
I'll drop you off a card and we'll arrange an interview sometime. All right?
Great. Good to meet you. All the best.
Right, so we've had a good walk around. I did want to get to speak to the rickshaw folks, but they're the most popular thing here today. They pull up, someone jumps on, and they take them around, and then they pull up and they go again. So trying to get an interview with those guys is going to be very difficult. And I've got the two mics on at the moment, so I can get some beautiful music in the background. Whilst I'm chatting, it's beautiful. Today's been really, really nice, and I just want to say thank you to the Belle Vue Arts Festival people, the organisers, for bringing. If you could see this, I mean, go on our Instagram and take a look. It's at the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, and look at the pictures. There were literally people just sat around listening to music, people buying flowers, enjoying themselves, kids playing Lego, all by the riverside, and that's what it's all about for me. And there's going to be lots going on as you're listening to this over the next couple of weeks. So go to the Belle Vue Arts Festival website, which is www.bellevueartsfestival.co.uk, and take a look at the great range of events that are going on locally around you, and get involved. I want to encourage you guys to take a look at our website too, okay? Make sure you pop there, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. We are in a bit of a transition at the moment. It's not looking as glamorous as it usually does because we've had to switch the RSS feed. Which means nothing to you guys, I appreciate, but we've switched from Podbean to Captivate, so trying to get all that ironed out and making it look as pretty as normal is taking a bit of time, but our website is amazing still, and if you need a website, make sure you check out Web Orchard, who are our sponsors. They make the website for us, and they'll make the great website just for you. Thank you very much for tuning into this collection of this mosaic of interviews I've put together today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and like I mentioned earlier, if you have a comment, a suggestion, you want to get involved somehow, you can find us on Facebook, you'll find us on Twitter and Instagram. You can drop us an email as well, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. try that again, shall we? Which is shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.